right, y'all, and we are back.
Welcome back.
Here we go. All right, so we're gonna go ahead right now and get into some other NBA news.
Yes, sir.
These are more so talking points, some stuff we've heard.
Stuff outside the bubble.
Stuff outside the bubble.
Yeah.
It's some stuff we've heard from, former NBA players this week in the news that I think just need to be addressed.
Some blasphemous thing.
So on NBA on TNT, I think it was Kenny, came out and said, Dame might be a better shooter than Steph. And, Steph had to clap back real quick and say, dog, you out of your mind.
Yeah, he said, I love you, though.
So let's talk about it, though, because Dame has been in the bubble shooting the lights out.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about this Dame Curry comparison on two levels.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the better shooter? I think that answer is very obvious. But I want to ask you also, right now, which point guard would you want for your team?
All right. So I'm going to hit it the same way you did. Who's the better shooter? Curry. Easy.
I love you, Dame.
Yeah, there's no way that I'm going to say that Dame Lillard is better than Stephen Curry in shooting. Like, that's blasphemy. That's insane.
Yeah.
He's having a good time in the bubble, but I've already prefaced that bubble is helping a lot of these players.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen Steph in the bubble, but I'm sure if he was out there and the Warriors were playing in the playoffs, it'd be insane. And y'all would be like, oh, he's making all these records because he has nothing that's bothering him.
Yeah.
And I love Dame, just like you said. I love Dame. I love watching him play, but Dame is more of a, one of those people that he will shoot, but I like to see him drive as well.
Oh, yeah.
Steph is a shooter.
He is shooter.
He is a shooter. He is not, going to be driving in like that, like Dame all the time. He's not going to be slamming it on people's heads. So I'm going to say Steph. And who do I want on my team? Now that depends on the team.
Okay.
If I got a team that's filled with shooters, why wouldn't I want Dame? Someone that's going to sort of push it, just sort of like Giannis. Now, if I have a team like that's going to be, packed on the inside, I want someone like Steph. Now, to answer your question, I still want Steph.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want. And again,
I'm about to say, don't duck the question.
Y'all know it's not a shot on Dame, but I just like Steph more. I like how he plays.
Okay.
It's sort of fun just to watch him, do the things he does. Dame does look like he makes that shot a little bit easier, crossing half court and just putting it up. He looks like he got it a little bit easier, but I feel like Steph is more consistent. And without injuries, I feel like Steph was a 2-time MVP. He's going to help my team more than Dame in the long run.
Yeah. Man, I'm going to echo what you said. Steph, people have really forgot that he's that dude, and I think it's because he's been sitting out most of the year.
He's been out.
So a recency bias kicks in the same way it did with LeBron James. Everybody forgot about him in the best player in the world conversation last year.
Yeah.
But we're not going to sleep on what this man Dame is doing. So, hey, he's starting to compare with Curry and them shooting. So I'm a say this to you. I bet you that in game 3 of this Lakers-Blazers series, Dame Lillard will hit 5 or more threes.
I would have given you that if he didn't injure his hand.
Wow. Okay.
And I know y'all might be saying, like we already said, like it was his left hand, but if you're a shooter, you got to know you need both of your hands. It doesn't even matter like that. Yeah, it's your left index finger. Like that's still gonna hurt you in many ways. Like regardless, like you got to catch the ball, you got to position the ball. All of that's gonna be different because you're trying to protect that finger. So I am one to say no. I'll give you that bet.
All right. So look, we're gonna bet 10 push-ups on it.
Okay.
So for y'all who hear this, the video will be on our Instagram of who has to do these push-ups. It's gonna be him.
I don't think so.
But I'm willing to bet 10 push-ups on that. But moving on, while we talked about Curry and the Warriors, the draft lottery just happened.
Yeah, you saw Curry with the little cornrows.
With the cornrows, they don't look bad on him.
They don't. He's just been home. He's been living his life.
He's been chilling for a minute now. But the draft lottery just happened. The Warriors ended up with the second pick, which is ridiculous. And the Timberwolves with the first pick. I think the Kings have the third and the Bulls got the fourth. Those were the top 4. Just thoughts on how the lottery played out. I know there's one team it didn't go their way, but talk about it.
Knicks fans, how y'all feeling this morning?
How y'all feel?
I just want to know, like, I have never I've never seen a team or a fan base that just gets dealt with so much. Like, y'all go through a lot.
They can't do nothing right.
Y'all go through a lot, man. I just want to make sure y'all okay.
Oh my God.
Like, eighth pick. The Knicks got hit with the 8th pick.
Depression.
If y'all watch the lottery, man, when the Knicks person that came up that's supposed to be accepting like the 8th pick, he came up.
He sat there like this.
He was so hurt. And just like, you could see it in his face. He just had no expression at all.
Imagine doing all that losing for nothing.
For nothing at all, bro. Knicks fans, I am sorry for you. Literally, that was the worst. Oh my gosh. Man, it was terrible.
No, but other than the Knicks, because I could laugh at them for all day. But
we did.
The Warriors are looking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're gonna have a crazy bounce back year.
That's why I said I can't wait. I can't wait for it.
With the pick. I mean, who do you think they're gonna choose? Put you on the spot.
Who do I think they're gonna choose? They need a center. I don't think. I've heard some speculation that said they're gonna get someone to replace Draymond. I don't think they let KD go if they get Draymond. So I feel like Draymond's gonna stay. I feel like Klay's gonna come back. Steph's gonna come back. The only person that they really need with the acquisition of Andrew Wiggins, the only person they need is a real center. So James Wiseman is the only person that I could see coming and picking up.
I agree with you. Yeah, and that would be scary. And you know the thing about the draft is you never know who's gonna be that player to blow up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Donovan Mitchell a couple years ago is a guy who just came out the draft and now is an elite player in the NBA.
Right.
So you never know, who's going to be these next superstars. And go all the way back to 2003, there was somebody who we knew was going to be a superstar, and that is LeBron James. And he's, lived up to that standard. So many people have him in the GOAT conversation, including myself,
me as well,
and you.
Yeah.
So we heard Paul Pierce talking about former NBA players talking out the side of their neck, talking about if LeBron loses this series, he don't want to hear about him being in the GOAT conversation. And currently, he doesn't even have LeBron in his top five.
I know.
Just talk about the blasphemy, as Stephen A would say. The blasphemy.
Paul Pierce, he loves to do this, and I feel like he does it because he's still a competitor on the inside. He don't want anybody to feel like, I don't think he wants anyone to be better than him. I don't see how Paul Pierce, I do this all the time. I don't see how Paul Pierce can literally sit down and look at this man play for 17 years, go back and look at all the tapes that he's played against you and beating you, and you don't say he's top 5.
That's ridiculous.
You don't say he's in your top 5? Not even 5? He don't make 5?
That's ridiculous.
That is crazy. Paul Pierce, I love you to death. I used to hate you when you played for the Celtics because I was a Lakers fan. But that's ridiculous to say that he is not in your top 5 and you don't want to hear any more GOAT talk because everything at this point in year 17 is gravy. Everything that he's done at this point in his life is more than enough. He can end it today and say, I'm not playing in game 3. I'm retiring. And he will be considered the greatest of all time, if not one of the greatest players to touch the floor.
Talk to him.
So for you to say that he is not top 5 and you don't want to hear any more GOAT talk if he don't make it out of these playoffs, that is blasphemous. Blasphemy. That's what I hear from you, Paul Pierce.
Look, I think Paul Pierce is a little bit hurt because, LeBron knocked him out a couple times on that road to the championship. And I think he always has held that personal vendetta against LeBron.
Right.
But, it is what it is. Paul Pierce has made so many laughable remarks as a commentator. This ain't
that's part of the love for him. Like he's gonna go those hot take routes, and we've talked a little bit about hot takes this week. But I just disagree with that one, Paul. I can't ride your way.
At the end of the day, though, Paul Pierce is a champion, and his opinion does have to be valued somewhat. But regardless of that, let's talk about some other champions in the Toronto Raptors. We had an interesting story come out of there with the Masai Ujiri. His legal team released the body cam footage of the security guard that would not let him on the court after the Raptors won the championship. you know, I love Masai Ujiri. He's one of my idols.
Yeah.
You know, somebody I look up to in the business. So to see this, it really gets under my skin. I just want to hear your take on it.
Man, when I first saw it, I was like, so it was true. Like I didn't feel like I didn't really know much about Ujiri before the incident, but I could tell from, you know, just interviews and seeing him after the play, like after the championship, I didn't think he was a bad person. So for that to come out and be like, you know, he assaulted a man or whatever, I was like, wait, that don't sound like the person that was, you know, but you always sort of have to hold it because you never know. Yeah. But now seeing this, I'm like, I was right. You know, I had no idea that happened, but I'm glad that it actually did come and surface on the everything. And now it's like, man, it does not matter who you are, what you hold, what your name means. As long as you got the same colors being you, and a lot of people, like, you're gonna get treated the exact same way. It doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter your title. It doesn't matter that you just won an NBA championship with your team and you're a champion with everybody else. If you're black, man, you're gonna be bullied, and you know it doesn't matter your position or nothing. Exactly. And that's the part that like sort of hit me. Is like, goodness. It don't matter.
Look, and the thing that was crazy about it is you see him on the body cam. He's pulling out his badge to show him, like, dude, like, I'm the president of basketball operations. Like, I'm that dude. Right. Like, this is my team. I put this team together. Yeah. And dude don't want to hear it at all. He sees that skin, and immediately his defense mechanisms go up, and he just doesn't believe that black man could be in that position of power. So I think that's just terrible.
What I loved is I saw he didn't react the first time. You know, he pushed him, and he was like, wait, and he tried to handle it like civilized. The second time he came to him, he pushed him, and I was like, now you attack. Now, go now. Because he's doing it. You give people chances. But that second time, just go ahead. Hit him. I want you to. Because that was ridiculous. And I also saw a video where, like, after everything, Masai, he was trying to handle something, and Kyle Lowry came and grabbed him. He's like, you supposed to be over here, man. You know, I'm glad that Kyle came and, did what he did. I love Kyle Lowry. Yeah. If y'all didn't know. But I'm glad that happened, man. I'm glad he came and got him after the fact.
For sure.
And made sure that he was, still in present of just winning a championship. I hate that the Golden State Warriors had to deal with that as well. But I feel like that's it for this episode, man. That's it. We're going to take a break. But before we take that break, we're going to send it to our co-host, Shawl. And he's going to give you guys the primetime predictions for this week.
I'm almost never wrong.
Cap. But we'll see y'all there. All right. Bye.
What's up, guys? Here we go. It's time for the primetime predictions. And remember, I'm almost never wrong. So here we go with the first game. We have Milwaukee versus Orlando. I got to take Milwaukee. They started off slow, but I think they're going to pick it up. Right after that, we got Indiana versus Miami. I think Jimmy Butler is just too much for TJ Warren and the Pacers, so I got Miami in that one. After that, we got Houston at OKC. I had OKC in 6, so I got to stick with them. OKC is going to run the table for the rest of the series. All right, after that, we got Los Angeles at Portland. I think Dame is going to come out and shoot the lights out, so I'm going to pick Portland to beat LA in that last game. That will be the last win that Portland gets, though. All right, moving on to Sunday, we got Boston at Philly. Philly is not prepared for these games. Go ahead and take Boston in that one. After that, we got Los Angeles at Dallas. Ooh, I think Porzingis is going to go off, and the Dallas Mavericks are going to win that game. All right, after that, we got Toronto at Brooklyn. Now, I got Toronto winning, but I think this game is going to be pretty close, y'all. I think it's going to be close.
Cap.
No cap, dog. I think that the Raptors will beat them by 9 or less.
Cap, and I bet you 10 they go.
I bet you 10 push-ups they do. All right. Bet. Y'all heard it. 10 push-ups on that game if the Raptors beat them by 9 or less. Last game, though, we got Denver at Utah. I got Utah winning. Donovan Mitchell has been going crazy. So I pick the Jazz to win this game, but I think that'll be the last game they win in the series before the Nuggets take it back over. There we go. That's Primetime Predictions. If you want to be right, copy my predictions, and we'll see y'all next week.